I think in my career it's been quite common, so probably maybe before my time.
I'm just very old, Joe. Yeah, that's what it is. You're just reminding me now of cruelty, but you know, people do that. Why should it be you? Meanwhile, we've got some more Keirin teeing up for you right now. With the men, so who is involved? Janauskas teeing himself up right now. This, of course, we remind you, is the runoff for the positions. So this is the battle once again for 7th down to 12th, this time for the men. Well, I think this competition was a little bit more as per expected. Are we allowed to say that? Thomas Babek would probably argue with that. But there you go. Zaitsov on your screen for Belarus. This is Bulgaria's Miroslav Minchev. Goodness me, wouldn't argue with him if he said no trainers in the nightclub. We have Minchev as well. Thomas Babek of the Czech Republic, Sovbetsky of the Ukraine, and Czechman of the Czech Republic. And here comes, oh gosh, told you. The bouncer almost bounced the dirty there, Joe.
Almost, yes. Not a great start there, but they're just going to ease up to the back of the dirty now. So he does start at quite a steady speed, so there's never going to be any doubt about getting on the back of the dirty. It's not like a case of you need to be ready for a standing start at the beginning of the race. You can easily sort of roll on the back. He's just going to gradually wind up the pace until he peels off with 3 laps to go.
Keirin Racing, of course, they're still very much part of Japanese culture, and it was... they used to have stables where mobile, I think it's still the case, mobile phones are banned in the approaches to race days, so that so that the riders themselves can't be encouraged or discouraged regarding their performances and the like. So they have Keirin stables, and it's an amazing thing to behold when you, if you ever get a chance to visit them. Joe and I will be heading off because Joe's just desperate to see a Keirin stable in action when we go to the Olympics. So that's one of her bucket list to go there. Meanwhile, they push on as Minchev, it is, of Bulgaria, that wants to make a big noise here. No surprise, because of course he is on home ground. Belarus also here with Zaitsev. It's the pair of them that are at the front. Ukraine starting to make a move. Stovbetsky it is that picks up right now. The tube from the Czech Republic, Babek and Czechman must believe that this is all about them. Will they make it stick though? That's the big question. Final lap. The bell has been rung, and Bulgaria and Belarus. Bulgaria out of it, but Belarus still in it. Lithuania getting back in it with Janauskas, but it's now or never, and the Czech Republic will take 7th position here. No real joy in it by the looks of them, and the reason is the likes of Thomas Babek should really, by rights, have been going off, you might think, in terms of reputation, for the gold medal. It's not to be. Acknowledges the crowd and says, what can I say? Not quite sure what the hand gesture was all about, but anyway, Babek finishes 7th only. By his own standards, that'll be a disappointing journey for him, Joe.
Yeah, you know, we've seen him in major finals before and medalist at this sort of level, so perhaps not the result he would have wanted, but still it's a win in that race, and like I said before, it's still all good experience for being out there and racing at this level against these sort of rivals.
Zaitsev of Belarus finishing 2nd in that one, as you saw. Well, here's that moment where the Derny had to divert. Quite often the Derny drivers are ex-riders themselves, Joe.
Yes, I think that might be quite a nice way to stay in the sport, actually. Get to go to all the competitions, yeah, and get involved a little bit.
So then, this is to find our European Keirin champion. Max Levy, Alexander Sharapov, Sotiros Bretas of Greece. We also Alexander Sharapov of Russia, along with Dennis, of course, and 2 from Spain with Martinez and Peralta. So Spain, I think, rather effectively getting 2 into the final. Likewise, Russia. Are they going to bully Bretas of Greece and Max Levy? Here is Bretas. Got himself a 4th place, unfortunately for him, in the sprint. But I'd love to see him get a medal, actually, Joe, just because he was so lively in the sprinting yesterday.
Yeah, we really enjoyed watching him race in the match sprinting yesterday, and brilliant to see him in this final for 1st to 6th. Of course, Maximilian Levy also here, who won yesterday's event, Denis Dmitriev as well. So really, really strong field, and should be a brilliant final.
Should be. Will it be? Of course it will be. So, Denis Dmitriev is wearing the white helmet of the pair, both he and Sharapov, who wears the black helmet for Russia. Because a quite even stature. There is Denis Dmitriev. He's won so much, Joe, but he still remains very hungry for more. Max Levy is probably going to be his nemesis, isn't he? Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, no, so both of them, well-experienced riders into their 30s, older than me, and I've retired. But I think, if you're still hungry for success, if you still enjoy that process of the day-to-day training as well, I think that's as important. We all enjoy winning, but you need to enjoy the sort of process of getting there. And both of these riders still performing really, really well, despite very long careers.
Shall we? Let's do it. And so, time to get ourselves invested. Number 75 has white socks. Martinez is white-socked of the 2 Spanish riders. So Peralta with the dark socks here. So, time to get yourself settled in for duty. I think the men we're going to be talking about, though, are Max Levy and Denis Dmitriev. They were the ones that duked it out for the gold medal in the sprint competition, Joe, and Max Levy had the advantage, so Denis wants this.
Yes, I'm sure he will. So a little bit of a rematch here, having had the gold and silver medal decided yesterday in the match sprint. But yeah, back against each other in this gold medal final. Currently, Maximilian Levy is the rider that's just behind the Derny here. So he'll be at the front as soon as the Derny pulls off at 3 laps to go. So that's going to be next lap. And then that is the question of who, what tactics unfold then. The Derny used to pull off later and at a higher speed, so you just sort of be unleashed into your sprint. But now there's a lot more looking at each other and seeing who's going to be the first one to go.
There it is, Derny gone. It's Max Levy that's at the front and starting to pick this one up. It's Peralta that goes up and over the top. So Germany just tucking in with Max Levy. He's got Denis Dmitriev there, and well, kicking over the hornet's nest is Bretas as well. He's very lively on the track, and they haven't stopped at all. And coming up and over the top is Sharapov with the dark helmet. Sharapov on the shoulder here of Dmitriev. Dmitriev chasing on to Levy right now, and Russia may well double medal here if they can't stop them. But right now it's Max Levy and nobody's stopping him. It's Levy versus Dmitriev. It had to be the pair of them coming down the back straight. Who's going to get there? Oh, it's Levy that doubles up, double European champion. He beat Dmitriev in the sprint competition, and now he's done him here in the Keirin final as well.
Wow, what a finale that was. Maximilian Levy taking his 2nd European title in 2 days, and that was ever so tight on the line there, but he led that out from a long way. I thought at one point Denis Dmitriev was going to get round him, but it just wasn't quite going to happen for him. And on the line, Maximilian Levy takes it by a fairly decent margin, I think, for sprinting.
I think so. I think it was Bretas who came over for the bronze medal. He certainly raised his arms there, and I hope that that's the case. I'd love to see him get a medal out of this championship, and I think he may well have just made it. Wait for the official result. And here it is. Well, we'll see now. Levy just in that position, very aware of what was going on around him. Peralta started to mix and match here, and Peralta just headed for the bronze, I think, by Bretas, and it was Bretas punching the air. And look at the celebration for Bretas. I've got a bronze. How brilliant is that to see yet again? Levy takes the gold. Disappointment for Denis Dimitriev, who functions at such a high level, of course, but Sotirios Bretas takes home a bronze medal for Greece, and I'm really pleased for him, Joe.
Yes, so am I. It was great to see that celebration. I always like seeing people celebrate the other medals, like we were saying before about the sort of pressure coming into events and who's the favourite and those sort of things. But yeah, a bronze medal for Greece, having had a 4th place yesterday in the sprint, and he's absolutely delighted with it.
Oh, I love that. Fantastic. Still, Sotirios Bretas, who was just missed out on a medal in the sprint competition yesterday, has now got himself a bronze. Wonderful. Well, just having a look here, the commissaires. I hope there's nothing untoward. It looked clean enough to me, but they're clearly worried about something, Joe.
Yep, so I'm unable to see what the commissaires are doing, but if you're telling me they're having a look, then perhaps it could be because Maximilian Levy did go on to the Côte d'Azur towards the end of the race, and that's not part of the racing track, or it could have been, there could have been someone coming outside the sprinter lane that is between the black and the red lines. So if that's happened, then that could also be a cause for a second look by the judges. So we'll see. You can let me know.
It's held. At least it's being announced at the moment. They're still looking at it. It's about coming out of the sprint lines. That's oh, and it was Dimitriev just dipped under the red line, but I don't think he hampered anybody. And I think that dip by him just forced Levy underneath the black. Let's have a look. They're off the final curve right now, and we will see. Oh, I was just about to show you the replay there, Joe. They've denied it from us. Sorry about that. You did give me the hint. Pick your phone up, pointed at the screen. We'll have a look in a moment, and they've declared the results. So Max Levy indeed does hold on, and Dimitriev, unless there's any